What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Sunday, June 26th, 2022, and this is my AMC, GME, and SPY Algo Exposed weekly update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope you all had a great day in the market on Friday. Hope you had a great weekend too, but I hope on Friday you were able to take advantage of the crazy ass volatility that we are seeing once again and make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm going to go over all my regulars, my snake algo method for all three tickers, and some macro comparatives. So with that said, let's dig in. Real quick, my extreme gains from Friday from my scalp setups that I set up every single day on 7 different tickers were absolutely bonkers on Friday. They provided 12 individual entries from trigger, the highest ROI being on SPY for 420%. Then I had a 280%, a 150%, two 120%, and 80%, and then there were 6 remaining that ranged between 60% and 40%. Excuse me. So super happy with those, super grateful as always. A shout out to the Extreme Gainz fam, both premium and general discords. Absolutely killed it last week. Super happy and proud of everybody. Congratulations. And I say it in every video, and I truly mean it. I hope you were able to do something similar and make some extreme gains for yourselves. All right, I also want to spend a quick second and show you this. This is AMC's 5-minute chart from Friday. I did throw a tweet up on Friday. If you didn't see it, go check it out. And while you're there, leave some love. But this is my micro intraday snake that I had on the chart waiting for the fulfillment of it on Friday. And you see how that worked out. We had what was called the Russell rebalancing that happened on Friday afternoon, to which I alerted the premium Discord of potential Friday afternoon volume. They did throw in, what was it? I think 25 million here on that last 5-minute candle. And this ended up fulfilling itself in its entirety, but at the end here, it was almost laughable to the upside as they create these built-in narratives, in my opinion, to justify this movement that is nothing but algorithms achieving their price targets. So anyways, there it is. If you want to see it anymore, you can go check out the tweet and leave me some love while you're there. Moving on into the intra-week snake. This is what we had looked at last week. It had projected and fulfilled 7 days. Like I said, a lot of volatility on Friday specifically, but all of last week. AMC finished the day Friday up 3.49% in regular trading hours. The previous intra-week snake did expire and fulfill into completion on Friday, and now we have price action diverting to the upside away from it, sitting right along this macro descending level of resistance from the previous $16.65 high. Now, I had shown you last week the day prior to this Friday divergence in Thursday night's video, and you know the drill. I clipped the day of and the day prior to, and this is the day prior to. I wasn't sure where to put this due to not knowing whether or not it was going to continue to fulfill downhill or whether we would divert uphill. Obviously, we diverted upside here in the short term, and nothing has changed now since we fulfilled this and diverted upside now. So I'm still looking at it the same way. I only have this 1 day worth of price action to get a gauge on where my initial placement should be when it comes to these intra-week snakes. So I'll need a little bit more to feel good about it. But anyways, there's the day prior to. Here's the day of, meaning Fridays as well. Both of them are very similar in that they show macro downside coming off of a rejection, off of that descending level of resistance. So no matter where I put either one of these right now for an initial placement, the idea is it's showing rejection off and either short-term down before a bounce, or obviously a little longer leg down dependent on how you look at it. But no matter what position I put these in the straight up position, it's indicating a rejection off of that and then continuation to the downside there. However, as we know from previous tracking of these algos and in the form of these snakes, that sometimes they can mirror these things. So obviously, if they mirror these things and these go upside, then I'll be looking for a breach and a break to the upside of that descending level of resistance. And then you can see here with it upside, I do have an extra day that I can use to overlap here that makes some sense to the upside, since I have 2 days going to the upside, and that would be what I'd be looking at from the day of divergence. And the day prior to is very, very similar in that I can put it directly on the 2 days identically, and we get essentially the same initial move to the upside, and then a little different once we get up here. But that's what I will be looking at regarding AMC and the intraweek snakes moving into tomorrow specifically and beyond. This descending level of resistance is going to be my indicator as to which direction potentially we may be headed according to these new potential intraweek snakes. So that is everything I am looking at and looking for with AMC and the intraweek snakes. The macro comparatives. As you know, I've been using from the previous double bottom right next door here, and I've used it in 2 different ways. Excuse me again. I'm doing outside work, so I'm thirsting like crazy, so bear with me. And I break to come in here to make this video real quick. All right, so here is the straight up position. That's the red one, and the blue one is the flipped position. And I'm going to put them both on here. We talked about this extensively in the videos last week, and the inverted mirroring of the 2 of them that are mirroring each other right here in this placement, which is where our current price action is, the convergence of them again here, and then a macro separation and divergence between the 2 of them here. So you can see where we're at there and what it would be potentially looking like if we would get fulfillment of one or the other moving into tomorrow and beyond, according to the macro comparatives. And that is everything for AMC. Up next is GME. GME finished the day a bit different from AMC on Friday, down 4.8% in regular trading hours. The current intra-week snake is what you see on here. It has continuously projected and fulfilled the projection for 3 whole weeks now. You can see what the projection is from it in its straight up position moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. Something I'm keeping in mind that I will mention is that previous intra-week snakes on GME have typically fulfilled for 3 weeks, then they divert. So I will be on the lookout for a diversion from this if it were to do anything other than follow it in its current position. So that is the current intra-week snake. Then the macro comparative, as you know, is like AMC. I have pulled it from the previous double bottom right next door, and I have looked at it in 2 positions as well, the straight up and the mirrored. Here is the straight up. I talked about this a couple times in last week's videos, and nothing has changed. It has invert mirrored this downside projection in the form of the candles and everything to the upside. The only way for it to continue to follow this would be for a hard downside move and for this to converge back with it. Other than that, that's the only thing that needs mentioned about the straight up position. However, because of that invert mirroring, we know that it's been fulfilling in the mirrored position. So there is the mirrored position, and it fulfilled in its entirety all of last week and a portion of the week prior to that in the mirrored position. You can see moving forward into tomorrow and beyond what price action may look like if it fulfills the mirrored position projection from this macro comparative on GME. That is everything I am looking at and looking for with GME moving into tomorrow and beyond. Last but not least, SPY. Cuckoo crazy SPY. SPY finished the day on Friday up 3.18% in regular trading hours. Absolutely crazy. The current intra-week snake is the yellow that you're looking at on your screen, and we talked about it in Thursday night's video, and I showed you what I would be looking for the break and breach to the upside and the fulfillment of it in the straight up position versus another potential mirroring like it did here for these two mirrorings that it performed according to the projection here. And what fulfilled on Friday obviously was the upside, literally candle for candle. So moving forward into tomorrow and beyond, if price action were to fulfill this in its current position, it's obvious what it would be doing, what looks and appears to be the first part of this week, and that would be the expiry and completion of that snake. So with that in mind as well, this snake has now provided projection and fulfillment for 3 weeks now. The SPY snakes have been a little different. I've had a couple that have been longer, but I think about the average is around 3 weeks of fulfillment from them. So once again, similarly to GME, I will be looking for and on the lookout for a potential divergence from this, which is obviously going to be to the upside if it were to do anything other than reject off of essentially the 392 and head back downside according to the tail end of this current intra-week snake. If we do divert from that to the upside, then you know the drill. I'll be clipping the day of and the day prior to. So that's the intra-week snake for SPY. The macro comparative in the alternate position that I showed you all last week as well, projected and fulfilled the move to the upside around the 392 area. You see where we're at and what that would be projecting moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to fulfill it in its current placement. Now, this has never been, and I say this in a lot of the videos, but in case anybody here is new, this has never been a candle for candle projection. It's been a projected suggested path. And as you can see previously, how that has led and then followed with price action. At times it has given candle for candle, and I'll take it when it gives it. But if this were to have some short-term upside prior to the rejection and downside, it would still be considered fulfilled in hindsight. So I try to remember that in real time and mention that to you all as well. And then not to mention for my box toppers, for those of you that understand and know my box top method, I had talked about this previously. The macro reverse third is in here. That is where our bottom hit last week. I do have the ascending third pulled here. Whether or not this does make that continued move to the upside to fulfill that hit as the actual next box top or the middle of a potential larger macro double will be what we'll have to determine, or what I will determine moving forward according to box top. But there it is. It's almost picture perfect, fulfilling itself to that extent as well. As far as this thing potentially, I had somebody ask me about the cuckoo kachoo macro comparative that I was using from crash to crash. And that showed a heavy bull move to the upside. So here's what I'm looking at as far as levels. And I have had these in here. My premium is aware of this. So here you go. This is for the rest of you. I'm looking at the 391.65 area as the first potential resistance here if it does not reject off of essentially where it's at. If we get a continuation upside, that'll be my next level I'm looking for. And then I'll be looking for anything between that and up to around the $398 to $400 area as being the max upside that I would prefer to see if this is going to have a continuation to downside in any way. It's what I'm looking at personally. For a potential reversal, macro translation reversal, and something to completely reverse this thing into a bull, I don't want to say bull market, but you get what I'm saying, a heavy bull side reversal move to the upside. Obviously, if we get back up here and breach the 405 or 407, the potential for that to move upward and beyond is the probability goes up drastically at that point. So these are my immediate levels that I am looking at going into tomorrow and the rest of this week if we get a continuation upside with no rejection to downside prior to obviously that 400-ish dollar level. So that is everything that I am looking for and looking at when it comes to AMC, GME, and SPY. That is everything I have for this video. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you all very much. I appreciate y'all coming by. I will get an update and prep video out tomorrow after market close, like I always do. Good luck in the markets tomorrow. Make yourself some extreme gains, and I will talk to you all on the next one tomorrow night. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Later.